He came up to the window in the mist, as I'd seen him often before. But he was solid then, not a ghost. And his eyes were fierce, like a man's when angry. He was laughing when he turned to look back over the belt of trees, glinting in the moonlight, to where the dogs were barking. Then he began promising me things, not in words, but by doing them. Have you seen that awful den of hellish infamy, with the very moonlight alive with grisly shapes, and every speck of dust that whirls in the wind, a devouring monster in embryo? Listen to them, the children of the night. What music they make.
Oh. Hey, Vampire Logan here. Working, checking the audio. Seems to be working. How about you guys? Why don't you talk? Uh-oh, something's not working there. Damn it.
I'm not working.
Oh, no.
You're
now it's
not working. Well, I mean, hopefully none of
Nope.
us are working right now.
Oh,
I had to work
sometimes I
today.
do, but not
I'm
tonight.
tired.
Well, you had to work
Yeah,
today,
it's
but you're not
working.
working right now.
No,
Hopefully.
sometimes I work during the game. Sometimes I gotta get it done. Multitask.
You sound
you
a
go.
little sick too, buddy.
Yeah.
I just noticing that. I think I've got allergies.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe I'm sick of working. Could be
Okay.
both.
Yeah, so go ahead, Jess. It's on you.
Yeah, well, welcome back, everybody. And when we left our group last week, some interesting stuff was going down. What was that exactly?
Well, we did a certain choice to go somewhere because we had found that deed about the Wachter house in the middle of the woods, and we all got together and thought, why not go there? Why not see what's there? And when we individually got there, it's freezing cold, first of all, which we should have expected that, but
Up
we
on the
didn't.
mountain.
Yeah. And Fallon and Cora are a little bit
Chilly.
a little bit chilly. But when we got there, we came across a certain two boys that were in duress.
Yeah, I'm glad we decided to come here.
Right?
Imagine we never figured out where they went. They died forevermore.
We're like,
Goodbye.
shit, where the fuck did those
Nikolai
boys
and
go?
Carl.
Wild.
jeez.
Anyway.
We have good choices
Nikolai
and
and
bad
Carl.
choices. This turned
Peace
out to be a good
Never to be
choice.
seen again.
Yes.
Schrodinger's boys. Not dead nor alive.
Right.
But we get there and they are being waylaid by what I could only describe as really, really angry silly putty balls of light. Like,
Little wisps.
Yes. 6
Yes.
will-o'-wisps and a mega-wisp.
literally like a will of the wasps. Like it was a watt light bulb. It blinded all of us, and Fallon was forever changed. She became Danny Phantom.
It zapped me, bro.
I kind of feel like they were the
zap me,
Power
bro.
Rangers with the 6 will-o'-wisps that combined to 1 mega-wisp.
And I'm still not over the fact that I made that one wisp tanked like 50 damage from Cora, and I'm like, well, can you die, please? I need HP super bad.
Anytime
The
now.
big one zapped me, but you know what? I zapped its ass back.
Well,
So you got
certain
critted.
something.
You got like
Yeah.
that was an improbable roll, but boy oh boy, did
hurt.
it do some damage.
You took
Yeah.
like 40,
47 in
42,
one
47.
I
zap.
took 40 damage.
And then it became 42 because of your absorb
Canceling.
elements. and then
Yes, correct. I forgot I used that.
used your single time you ever used absorbed elements, and you still went down.
No, I don't know why I did that.
It was funny. And the funny thing
It
is,
was
you
funny.
knew how much HP. You knew how much HP damage he was about to do you, and you went, "I can try.
I got
I'll
this.
do this."
Yep.
Maybe it won't do
Maybe.
I can
anything,
take it.
but maybe.
But maybe it'll be fun. I was expecting the other spell. There's absorb elements, and there's like I don't know if there's actually one that like halves damage instead. But for some odd reason I was thinking like that. But
If
this
it is a
happens.
higher level than I can cast.
At some point during this combat, a wolf shows up.
Shadow Wolf.
Yeah, a shadow wolf just shows up, and at this point, this would be 2 shadow wolves on the same battlefield because one of them was Shabakka. Well, did we learn?
Was one of them.
Well, were we
surprised?
were we ever taken for fools?
Right?
Yes. Yeah, it turns
Damn
out only one of you
Shabakka.
can see one of those wolves. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it turns out we've been having a certain little unreliable narrator's perspective for anything concerning that wolf. And at any point when that wolf shows up, it's Shabakka actually either having a seizure or hallucinations or just going batshit crazy. Because holy shit, he bit me.
And he went
Like,
after the boy.
fucking bit you.
He
He went
bit
after
me.
Nikolai.
Mhm.
Well, to be honest with you, I've been
He
tempted
almost
a few
fucking
times.
killed one of the guys we were protecting, and then he bit you.
Yeah.
Rude.
And also,
Dude.
further in context, right before that, the imagination Korra, which is the Korra that I thought I was prior to this, said, "Hey, you're safe if you stick with this fucking hawk." And then that hawk turned into a wolf and sliced him open.
You were like, this giant eagle will protect you.
Oh
Jokes on
no!
You can't
Mhm.
trust some people.
I know,
I
right?
can only
Crazy.
imagine the
Narrator's
version
not
that
the only one who's unreliable.
that happened, where
Right?
it was Korra going, "Hey, everything will be okay," and then it turns into both Korra and Nikolai going, "Oh my gosh,"
Yeah.
because they're alone
It's
against
not
this
okay.
giant wolf attacking them. And then
There's
Fallon shows
nothing
up and then
okay.
dies almost immediately.
No, I got there before the wolf attacked you.
True and fair.
Because I was attacking, I would have attacked the wolf if it was already attacking you guys, but I attacked the big will-o-wisp instead.
Yeah,
And
but yeah, I
and
can
then there
only
was healing,
imagine
and
that.
Nikolai
Yeah.
is back on his feet, and Fallon's
With
back
Carl.
up, and you guys managed to restrain the wolf.
Yes, that is where we left off. A restrained wolf.
Mhm.
Shabak Wolf.
And that's where we'll pick it up.
I'm having a bit of
So as
trouble getting.
as Shabakka
Can you hear me?
is restrained in wolf form.
Yes.
Yep. I can let you
I'm
know.
having a bit of trouble
were you-
getting the Roll20 to appear in the stream. So just
If
yeah,
there's anything to do with
okay.
maps,
Just
then-
continue, I guess.
Well, this part is going to involve you pretty heavy. So if you're distracted, then go ahead and finish up what you're doing.
Is there smoke rising from your computer?
Not yet.
Okay.
Should
that's
it
a
be
good
rising
thing.
from
It's a
here?
good start.
Roll20 map capture. This was working last time. Oh, man. What is going on? What if I just shut down Chrome?
Is it Patch Tuesday again? April Fool's.
Oh,
Maybe someone
no.
Yeah,
should
it's
be
April
machine.
Fool's Day, maybe.
Yeah. That was
I'm
yesterday.
gonna go click some cats.
Boop.
Speaking of which, for those of you who contributed to Maggie's April Fool's Day, that was most appreciated. She was very
Good.
confused and didn't really clue into what was going on until I texted her and told her about it. But then she thought it was very funny and well done. And,
Oh, good.
Zoe,
thanks
did you
for-
end up
thanks for your-
sending something?
I did.
Something,
I
yeah.
typed up the text at 8:30 in the morning before because I had woken up and I was like, oh, I should do this before I forget. Until I sat there and went, it's 5:30 on the other side of the country. This is a bad. What am I doing? And I went back to sleep, and then I woke up later and sent it at a normal human time.
I didn't even think about that. I sent it
Yeah.
at like 9 a.m. my time. I don't know what. It should be like
That'd be 7. Yeah.
that's not bad.
It's
That's
not
fine.
5:30.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not
What
5:30.
did
You're
you-
right.
I didn't see any of the messages you guys sent because she'd already headed over to her mom's. But what did you guys send?
So I pretended that I was a small business owner looking to make wool trinkets from llamas before llamas
So
sleep.
funny.
And so I was asking if she could send pics of the wool so I could determine its quality, or if they could provide insight on how well the fleece was cared for.
That's so
Nice.
funny.
Did anyone do a character voice?
No, it was only by text.
Oh,
It was
okay.
Intent?
Imagine. She met me before, so I can only imagine I'm not sure if she would ever recognize my voice, but it'd be like, hey, wait a second. Wait a second.
Hold the phone, Mo.
I hear you have llama. I would like to buy a llama.
I have you llama.
Yes.
What about
I
you,
was
Zoe?
I was
What did
looking
you
to
do?
buy a llama to eat the 38 acres of moss that I had in my swampland.
Oh my.
You guys are
Okay.
a lot more creative than me. I
am Nigerian prince.
Yeah.
I was gonna go with an
And I'm
Irish.
trying to import llama bonuses for you. There you go.
Oh, I'm an Irish prince.
Settlers of Catan.
My
Settlers of
Scottish.
Catan.
I'm an Irish prince, and I got never mind. Ignore that.
Got a wee bit of swampland that I need.
You guys
now.
are a lot more creative than me. I basically just went for kind of what Jesse had sent us to send, but rephrased it a bit, and then asked, instead of about feed, I asked about what color it was, and I was like, I would only get it if it's a very specific color.
I'm looking for a
What
Free
calico
color
llama.
was
llama.
It must be
It was
black
a
or very dark
free
gray.
llama.
Yes.
Will you
Imagine.
deliver it?
I just like
Come up
I
by
just
yellow
like the
line.
idea that everyone comes with this very specific thing, right? That
Requirement.
to me was like part of it that I thought was really funny. That it would be so specific, and like whatever like you could say like yes, I'll take it, but like whatever she answered, the answer would be, oh well, I was looking for the other thing, or no, that's not going to work
Yeah.
for me, and it just. Yeah, I'm glad.
What's
Like
funny is
everyone
the
seemed to really
texture.
get into inventing something for the llama
So
question.
did she play along with
yeah.
it?
No, she never
didn't play
responded.
along with it. She
Yeah,
she
she's
didn't respond to
fine.
anyone the best that I can discover. But she was
Which makes sense
She,
to me,
like-
because I don't think I would have
Yeah.
answered shit. Been like,
I
who the
probably
fuck is
would've.
texting me? I
I'd been
think
like,
by
I
maybe
don't
the
have a
third
llama.
text, I'd be like, okay, something fucking weird is going on. Maybe I'll answer. But like, if I got one text like that, I'd just be like, fuck off. Who are you? Leave me alone.
yeah.
There is actually one person that over the years I've had to block over 100 numbers
Holy
because
smokes!
they all think I'm this one guy. And I wish I'd saved the texts, but there's literally just a dude that maybe had my phone number beforehand, or maybe he put down my phone number for spam stuff.
I was wondering if
Yeah.
But
they thought you were Lebowski.
Mhm.
but it's just the same guy. And at one
I'm
point,
just
I
the
received
dude,
over,
man.
I think I received over 30 or 40 texts in 1 week about getting a house, like a realtor,
Wow.
and like things like that. And I was like, bro, stop.
By the way, I got the
you
stream
I
nice.
get
fixed.
phone
You're
calls.
far nicer than I am. I would have totally messed with them.
I was
I got
like
the stream fixed, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Honestly,
So
with your
before we
credit
get back,
rating at 525, I doubt you're going to be getting a house. I mean, but we could
I used to
try.
get calls. I used to get calls for a woman named Gladys Wong, and then like I got it for a few years, and then I didn't for a long time, and then at some point, like I got one again after like 3 years. I just had to
oh
like
gosh.
ask the person, "Did you get this number recently?" I was beginning to worry about Gladys, like she hadn't given out this number in a while. Like I'm hoping she was okay.
Is Gladys okay? I need to know.
Yeah, exactly.
We
I
need
got
to
a
know.
text once from a guy where I was like, no, like he was asking if I was somebody, and I was like, no, like you have the wrong number. And he asked if I was sure.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
pretty sure, dude.
Actually, sorry to have bothered you, but no, I'm not sure. Hmm.
I've
Like
been
this
not
man
that
was like,
guy my
"Are you
whole life.
sure?" And I'm like, "Yes." It'd be crazy if I wasn't sure.
Well, I
Could you
can al-
check?
I can always text somebody
in the
from my
back.
work phone, which is a 202 number, so Washington, D.C. So you want to make it look like someone's
Nice.
calling from a regulator or whatever.
That was the thing. I think he was looking for someone in New York, and I was like, "That's not what my area code is, bro."
Yeah, New York is 212, I think, right?
Like mine, that's not even close to what my area code is.
Are we ready?
Yeah, we are.
You
So,
ain't even in my area code.
You guys
I know.
hold down the wolf for a little while. He squirms and eventually rests. And as he does come to a rest, he changes back into Shabakka.
Oh,
The Shadow Wolf abides.
Shabakka, you basically you don't remember much of the last couple minutes, but for some reason everyone else on the team has a limb of yours, and they're holding them very tightly.
Stretch!
What's
All right, make a wish.
what's going on?
We're about to make a wish.
Oh, jeez.
I wish I knew what was going on.
Well,
You've been in your
difficult.
shadow wolf form.
We'll just
Yeah,
say you've been
I was
difficult
just-
to handle.
I was just fighting the other one.
Other one.
Other one?
Yeah, where'd it go? I look around.
There wasn't another one. There was just you.
It was just you, and you.
Yeah, it was weird.
What? What? We fought this wolf before.
No.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Shabakka, I know you've mentioned this a couple times before, but we have never seen anything like this. And today you went a bit further than normal.
And she just shows her arm where she was bitten.
Oh, Shabakka, bad boy.
Usually it only attacks me. Is that what I remember? Is it only attacks me?
We need to get the spray
It's-
bottle.
Only you could
attacked
hurt
you.
it. That's what you remember.
Has it attacked anyone else before? In my
No.
memory?
It has not left a mark on anyone else. It has not left a mark on anyone else.
Wait, don't spray bottles only work on cats, right? So we can't use that on him.
Shabakka,
What?
stop talking about it. You were the only wolf here. You nearly killed Nikolai, and you bit Cora.
No, it's the other wolf.
Shabakka, there was no other wolf here. The reason we are restraining you is because we were restraining the wolf that was attacking.
My friend, are you under some kind of influence? You know how that evil vampire can get into people's heads.
You're not in the mooncakes again, are you?
Oh.
Hey, I look around. Do I see any tracks of the other wolf?
No. You see, there is a light snow on the ground. It's pretty easy to see tracks here. You don't. No.
What? What?
Answer me this, Shabakka. How long have you seen this wolf?
Yeah, see, it's right there. No.
For how long?
I told you the story before. That I had
Tell it to me.
seen
Again.
this wolf a few times in my life. and it had, on some occasions, defended me. But do I remember I've not changed into this wolf form since we've been in Ravenloft, right? Like I haven't had that form as a form I can turn into, as far as I know.
As far as you know, that's right. Yeah, you didn't. You've never willingly turned into the wolf before recently.
And from their perspective, outside of because we traveled together before, had they ever seen me transform into that wolf before?
No. No, they'd never seen the wolf before.
Until
and here in this land, you caught glimpses and stuff like that, but it didn't really manifest physically, even for you, until Filbert died.
Okay, and
don't blame this on Filbert.
And that was that battle we had with the zombies.
The
right?
first real interaction was at the gallows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the battle with the zombies.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, you can assume that some kind of trauma, since you and Filbert were close, that some kind of trauma happened to you.
Okay. So,
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's been something that I've had around me ever since I gained druid powers, but it never I was never able to turn into it before until we arrived in until I guess the battle at the gallows.
And when you become this, you don't remember anything you do. You become just a mindless beast.
No, I act as I normally do in animal form, and this time I was fighting. The wolf came, and the shadow wolf that had come when I was young came and attacked. Who did it first attack? I think it was. It wasn't helping us, right? Yeah, that's right.
No,
the wolf.
Yeah, it first came here, and previously it had only attacked me. Like at the gallows, it only attacked me, but this time it attacked.
It was not at the
Nikolai.
gallows. Only you.
And you've been thinking for like a few sessions now that the wolf has, at the very least, you don't think the same when you've been in that form. And you seem somewhat aware of that.
I wasn't.
You were talking about that in the context of the Ramses, which turned out to be Seth, confrontation, and things like that.
That's what Cora was just thinking as well. That's the major sign that something was weird. I mean, of course, besides,
there were things weird, yes. In reality,
there's lots of weird
Shabakka's mind.
I have tests. Maybe we could find Squirrel and see how much of this sticks with him.
I'm back in normal form, right? Obviously.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah,
yes.
So we don't want to name him Doug.
Doug.
Beware of Doug. Yeah, you're back in normal form. And conversing and feeling fine.
Yeah, in my experience, there was another wolf besides the one I was turned into.
There was no other wolf.
No, hold on. Did this other wolf look like you or something else?
It looks fairly similar to the shadow wolf that I turned into, but I didn't gain that power until we came to this land. In fact, I didn't really gain that until... What, did I not ever do that before? Use that form before Filbert?
Not before
No,
Filbert died.
and
No.
yeah, and I think in the gallows right, I think you fought the wolf, but not in wolf form. I think the wolf form presented it was something you
I think it
were
was
able
right
to
after
turn
that
into
was the first
afterward.
time that you were told you were allowed to change into that form. That like Jesse
Yeah.
told you could.
After
Yep.
Filbert died.
Okay. And
No,
then
after
And
the
after the
gallows.
gallows.
Wasn't that after Filbert?
It was at
It was.
Yeah.
But you were. It
Yeah.
wasn't until after the gallows that you were told that you could use that as a form.
Right, okay.
And then it also came up with several times of when you try to transform into something that was not the wolf, you had to make like a saving throw or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, as far as I know, in my whole life, I have seen this wolf as a separate creature that has done things in my life to usually help me.
Is maybe he's a reflection of you in some way.
No, that
Unfortunately,
can't
he
be
doesn't
that.
seem to be very helpful this time.
Unless he sees me as an enemy.
Well, since we have come to this land, it has been more corrupted.
Well, the bigger problem, of course, is now if we get into a situation, a battle, will you be able to tell us from your foes?
I don't know.
So to give you some, Vamp, some Shabakka, some insight in here into kind of feelings around what you've experienced in the last little while. When you're in an animal form, or when you were transforming for combat, if you're in combat and you transform, I've made you roll a save. If you've transformed for travel or utility and there's no hostiles around, I haven't.
Okay.
And the last bit was this, and this was new in the last fight. When you were in animal form and you took damage, you made a concentration save to stay in that animal form. But that's
Not jump into the
something
other.
you're going to have to do in Shabakka form.
Okay.
So if you're Shabakka, you're gonna be fine. And if you transform, you're taking your chances.
I think I can control whether I wild shape or not. But when I do in a stressful situation, that's when this might happen, I think.
This is a
And you have
land of
no control over
uncertainties.
this.
I think there must be something about this land that is causing this. Because in the past, it's always been something separate from me.
Is he still laying on the ground?
I don't believe anyone said that they were letting him go.
Cora
I
just
will.
did.
Cora
I,
just did.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll try to pull him up, like using his arm to help him
So
pull
so
up.
will Ramses.
Cool. And we can assume that you did that a few moments ago.
Yeah.
Rather than...
Yeah, 'cause it's an odd conversation. I haven't pinned to the ground.
Yep.
Is it? No.
Does this have the conversation happen anywhere other than when one person is pinned to the ground?
Right? I'm not so sure.
this is a lot to process. If this has always been this way with me, that means, oh my God. Oh.
What are you remembering?
It was the wolf that protected me from my family.
Oh.
Huh.
That would be eye opener.
What would it be protecting you from now?
Well, I am coming to a conclusion that it might, as you guys are noticing, it may not be a separate thing from me altogether. Oh,
Well,
that is not good.
No, it isn't. You bit Tora.
I've done worse if this is true. Oh.
Like what?
Well, it's defended him against his parents. So think of the ramification of that.
If they were
I don't
indeed
think we
a
need
threat.
Shabakka to spell that out.
Yeah.
I don't care what you've done. I care about what you might do in the future.
Well, this does kind of leave that in a awkward situation, doesn't it? Can you think of a way to tame this other wolf?
Shabakka just kind of sumps down and seems like he's lost in his thoughts about his past. He puts his head in his hands and kind of starts sobbing.
I am just gonna go check on the boys. Not that I don't want to help Shabakka, but I just want to make sure that they're both healed. I don't know if we did that at the end. I think we did.
They are actually fully healed. And yeah, they're giving you guys your space.
Okay.
There's obviously a lot going on over there that they don't really comprehend.
I'm
But
gonna
they're
get
not
this.
like they haven't walked too far away. They're like watching intently, but from a distance.
I love Shabakka starts crying and Ramses goes, so I'm gonna go check on the boys.
Right?
I'm gonna gather some firewood and build a small campfire near Shabakka to keep him warm. Right?
Yep.
Because this is friggin' freezing, and even though he's got a fur coat,
and he
was just on the ground and he's
Icewind
probably
Dale.
soaking wet. Yeah.
Yeah, so the area over by him is actually the best area. It's got like there's a bit of an overhanging roof that you could actually build a bit of a shelter there,
Yeah.
and start a fire, and probably the warmest area in what's left of this house actually. So
Okay, cool. That's
good
what I'm gonna
choice in
do.
location. Actually, Carl, it's not you. The Carl Wachter approaches you, and says, be careful over there. We found something that I don't know. We might be okay." He looks over at Nikolai, and Nikolai nods and stuff like that. Well, it's rather special. It's why we came up here. But if you guys are interested, and he goes over to like a bureau, a cabinet thing that's under the overhang on the left side here, which he opens, and inside are 3 bottles, and one of them's cracked and shattered, but they're clearly wine bottles, and even the shattered one has frozen wine inside of it. And he says,
These motherfuckers and their alcohol, I swear to God.
Hey. Don't judge.
Exactly. Come on now.
I don't think
These
that was
might
Fallon.
be the last
It
bottles
wasn't
of
Fallon. Fallon is
champagne to
staring
stomp.
intensely at Shabakka and is not looking away.
He's got
These are the last
shoulder.
bottles of what?
He's got
That is
shoulder
fair.
racking sobs going on now.
These are the last bottles of what?
Champagne
The
de
stomp.
Stomp, the finest wine that the Wizard of Wines has ever made.
But you said the bottles are
Thought there'd
shattered.
be something up here.
One bottle had.
One of them is broken, but the wine is still there and could be thawed and gathered
Like,
in something else.
right.
The other two are intact.
All right, so I'll carefully remove the cracked outer shell of this. I don't know if it's a ceramic bottle or if it's a glass bottle. Hopefully ceramic. It's a lot
It's
easier
glass.
to crap.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'll work on it. Carefully remove that and put the frozen core in his he's got a mess kit. So there's probably like a little like a bowl or a pan or something like that.
Cool. Yeah, it
And place it
should
near
be
the
easy
fire
enough
and let it,
thaw if you're building
Yeah.
a fire.
yeah, place that near the fire but not on the fire.
Yeah, the Wachters seem more than willing to share their spoils with you
They better be.
after your miraculous last minute rescue.
Right?
Even if one of us
Seems
did
like
almost kill
We've-
them.
Not gonna
Yeah.
let that go, huh? So yeah,
Fuck it, I
Ramses
tried
will.
to kill you one time.
Right?
And
Details,
healed.
You think it's
details.
They got
Sicarius
they
now,
got
huh?
zapped by wisps. The wisps are gone. Then they got bitten and healed. So all in all,
It's a weird night for them.
it is a weird. Actually,
Yet it's just a standard
this
Tuesday
is
for
not
us.
this is not the worst day they've had in the last month.
Who would have thought their mom, and their
Yeah.
house burning down? Oh,
I didn't say it was the worst.
Also,
I
they
said it was a
seem-
weird day.
Yeah. Also, last time you saw them, they weren't particularly, they weren't like violent towards you, but they weren't particularly happy with you either. I think they'd say their feelings were complicated. Now
Oh,
Fair.
they seem pretty welcoming of your assistance.
They're cooling their jets.
Also fair.
also
Yeah.
fair. I'll go back over now. Once we get everybody together, the fire's going and stuff, and I'll just put my hand on Shabakka's shoulder. I'll say
He kind of
this.
shudders in shock as he wasn't paying any attention to anything outside of himself.
This land is doing this kind of thing to all of us, and we will help Shabakka get through this. And yes, he did some things today that were less than right, and yes, we have reason to be wary in the future. But at the same time, this land is doing this to everyone, and the people that we've met along the way have done similar or other awful things, yet we have been accepting of them all. And I don't think that we can, although it is a shock and hard for all of us at the moment because it's fresh, I don't think we can shame or distrust Shabakka. We need to stay as a party. We need to make sure that Strahd doesn't get his way, and that we don't get disbanded or let the tensions among us drive us apart. That will only make his job easier. We know that Shabakka seems to only see this when he wild shapes, so maybe it's best to just say, when Shabakka has a moment and can think about it, not to wild shape in combat.
Does he only ever wild shape into the dog format, or can he be like a, I don't know,
when
a
he's an
badger
eagle, he
or a-
seems to be fine.
You just saw me in
Well,
eagle form. We traveled here with that.
Right,
But you were
other
fine until
animals,
we got into combat. See, in
Other
the last
animals.
one, no, but in the last one, he was an eagle until he got into combat and got hurt, and then
I think
he
you're misinterpreting.
instantly.
You're missing what I'm asking.
Sure.
Other animals, not the birds.
Oh, I don't know.
He's
I'm sure he's been a spider. He's been a snake.
He's
You've
been a
seen him-
giant elf.
you've seen him be a dire wolf that's not the shadow wolf. It was a more shadow. The shadow wolf is a dark wolf, and the regular dire wolf he changed into is more of the same color as him with more white. So it's a distinct,
there-
different creature.
A pattern.
No.
No, not for us.
There's not. And like as Shabakka, as you think about it, you think that like the shadow wolf is the one that you feel the least control with. Everything else feels fine, but everything else is at least part of a risk of turning into the shadow wolf. If you're in any animal form, you feel there's a risk if you get into a combat that you could turn.
Although when I had been the shadow wolf before, I had been making my own choices of which creature to attack. It's just that I didn't. I thought of that other one as a separate creature.
There's that, but it also got worse over time. Like every single fight you were in as the wolf got worse. You had less control. You made more saves to do things.
I check my arm now. Is
And-
it still?
So your arm is you look at it and it is marked in charcoal. Like the black fur growing up your arm was drawn on in charcoal.
I can see that now. I'm not like
Yep,
deluded.
you can see it clearly.
Can you try something really quick?
I try to wipe it off. Does it wipe off?
It wipes off.
He hands you a flask.
Not magical.
We'll hand you a flask of holy water. And tell you, this is holy water. Does this affect you at all if you were to wash with it or drink?
I'll try washing that hand off with the holy water.
It does very efficient at washing, and it does not cause you pain.
And I'll taste some.
It does not cause you pain either.
This
Tastes
is
like
good
water.
water. Well, that's a good thing. I am at a loss, but you are our friend, so we will do what we can for you.
I'm a danger to the party.
Our behavior is a danger to the party. We have bad
Everything
habits.
that we do is a danger around here.
Yeah, this is, in the grand scheme, it is yet another danger that we have to deal with.
Who have I hurt? I look around and just
Cora
looking for
and
signs
Nikolai. But they've both been healed.
No, I've not. I'm at 33 out of 70 health.
Oh, I thought everybody was healed.
No.
70,
Oh, well, let me take care of
70
that.
health?
With the aid.
Hold on.
I have 58. Holy shit.
You're just a tiny girl. I don't know. I'm buffer than you, I guess. Wrong kind of buff.
Sasha will pat you on the shoulder and do lay on hands for 10 points.
If you get close to her,
I'm
she's
at
just going to probably bat
14.
your hands away right now. She does not want to be touched.
Do you want to be healed?
Thank you for,
I don't
no,
want to do this
please.
against your will, but I can heal you.
Please just give me a moment to collect myself.
Okay. He goes back to
Shabakka
tending to the wolf.
Shabakka looks sheepishly at Cora and goes, "I am so sorry. I would never intentionally hurt you." And he also looks over at Nikolai and goes, and you as well.
Nikolai's like hiding behind Carl and he like peeks over his shoulder and is like, "It's all good, dude." And then he like hides back behind.
Is anybody else hurt apart from Cora?
I'm
And
at
myself?
14 health.
Oh,
Will you accept my healing?
Yeah,
10 points. Bam.
thank you.
okay. Sorry, I can do so here. got a couple of these healing things. All right.
Cora seems a bit satisfied that Fallon's being healed.
16 points. Oh man, what crappy rolls! Another 12 points.
Thank you. That's fine. I'm almost full.
I'm totally out of spells.
Anybody else?
That's fine. I'm only
There's-
6 points under. So.
Well,
And then
I'm
there's-
still down.
Probably
a
should have
number.
mentioned this as well, but there's definitely time here for a short rest.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I don't know if that's going to help
I
me
will
much,
say,
but I
I'll
will take
say-
it.
Cora, there's still people that need to be healed. I understand your wishes that you want to be left alone. But if I cast Healing Word, people will be healed, including yourself. Is that okay?
That's fine.
I'm
Yes.
technically at full hit points because I was only injured in animal
Yeah,
form.
some of us are. Okay, so there's another 7 points to anybody else that's hurt, including Cora. I guess I'm getting closer to mine. Oh, I'm still down 7. Holy smokes.
And remember, everybody,
Yeah,
you
there
have
was-
5 higher max hit points because you have aid.
There was some damage dished out in that fight.
There was some damage.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, you would.
Save that. Okay, we'll take the short rest.
Carl and Nikolai kind of approach the group and you as you're setting up your fire there,
Hmm.
and they say, like, we're getting on into the afternoon. If you guys have bedrolls or anything, we only have cold weather gear for 2.
Here, join us, so we can at least dry your stuff off over the fire.
What were you
I
thinking
have a
coming up
bedroll.
here?
If we build a big enough fire in this area, we should be able to keep all of us warm, but it'll take a lot of firewood to keep it going through the night.
I
More
wonder if
than we
there's
Can
ways
we-
we can
Can we take
burn
a
the
search
shelters
through
from
here
the wind up here.
and see if there is a basement?
Is there any better shelter or still standing part of this house?
We can. I mean, they look at each other and it's like, we don't know of any basement. You're more than welcome to look, but I don't think there's one.
Had you been here before?
Yes, as kids.
And it was intact then?
No, this place hasn't been intact for a long time. I think, was it grandmother, great grandmother? I don't know. Somebody got this house a while ago. My parents took us up here once on an expedition when we were kids. They'd never seen it. They wanted to.
Made you come here? Today or now?
They kind of look at each other and shoulders slump a bit. Just had to get away. It was a place we knew that nobody else knew about. How did you guys know about this place? They say.
Cora, while quiet, kind of raises one of her hands and she's like,
It was me, Nikolai, Carl. When your mother made the decision to burn down the house, and I made the decision to save your things, I saved a couple of her things as well. It just so
I'm
happened.
obsessed with that. When your mother made the decision to burn down the house.
Nicely
True.
put. You definitely have the
Yep.
charisma.
True, but it's very funny.
Diplomacy.
I tried
Thus
to
causing
save
the end of her own life. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty much, that's what Cora is trying to imply, that we didn't start it, all right?
Yep.
We
We didn't start the fire.
We did not start
I
the
mean,
fire.
you're not wrong. That did invoke the end of her own life.
Yeah.
Yep.
But but I made the
Probably still would
decision
have ended up that way.
to value your items and your things over, well, the ongoing combat, as it were, outside. And it just so happened that I was able to save several documents as well. One of which that was for this location.
And you
And she
brought it
will
here
reach.
for us?
What was that?
And you brought it here for us?
I did not
Sure.
expect you or your brother to be here today. I had hoped that this location would be intact so that you would have a home to return to. If not,
In the middle of fucking nowhere.
that's what I had hoped for you. And she kind of reaches into her where she would try to grab the papers, and she hisses like in pain, like from her arm. Because for dramatic effect, I suppose. And pulls it out to show them the paper.
Casts meaningful look at the wolf.
Shabakka looks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just to really drive it home.
Shabakka looks down in shame.
But yeah, there is a scroll
they
with
take
a
the paper.
deed. It's a scroll with a notarized deed.
Yep.
So
And so, yeah, they want to read it. They want to look at it.
there's actually 5
You
scrolls, by the
good
way.
with-
This is just one of them.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to hand over all 5, or just this one? Okay.
Yeah,
they,
she'll show all 5 of them.
So Nikolai takes it from your hand. Carl's back a bit further, a little hesitant, and he reads through it and holds it out for Carl, who takes it from him. It's like, well, this is indeed the deed to this house.
This is indeed the deed.
Indeed, the deed.
Do the deed.
Did the deed. Yeah. What?
Indeed it is.
Can we have it?
It is yours. I should not keep that from you.
After we saw it was run down piece of shit.
Dangles
Well,
it over
no,
their heads.
it's literally there.
Dangles it up high, just out of their reach.
Yep. So yes, it is literally theirs, but also like a just outcome is actually kind of rare around here.
Yeah.
That somebody would get something because it belongs to them. I don't think that goes unnoticed. They're appreciative, and okay.
Just as much as I had done to make sure you were able to have keepsakes from your childhood, I would not keep something so important to your lineage from you. This is your own.
Thank you.
Well, this is a
Carl-
dangerous location, so
They chuckle and look at each other. Turned out, yes. Carl hands the deed to Nikolai, or he holds out the deed to Nikolai. Nikolai grabs it, but when he tries to pull it away, Carl doesn't let go, and they're both holding on to it for a moment. And Nikolai looks up at Carl to see what's going on, and Carl's got tears in his eyes, and they hug, and Carl starts to cry.
Fallon is uncomfortable.
Shabakka starts to cry too.
She cries harder.
Tasha smiles.
More uncomfortable now.
This is good. This is good.
And yeah, they
Those things do
they
happen.
take a moment though.
And Shabakka
And,
says, I've never had such a relationship with my brothers. Oh.
Yeah, Carl and Nikolai had a great relationship with each other, but a crappy relationship with the rest of their family.
Yeah.
Fair. We
'Cause
met
they
the
were
rest
evil.
of their family.
Yeah.
They're
And these guys
unpleasant.
just wanted to get along, right? With like, sure, they wanted to. They got in some trouble and they liked their booze, but they didn't really mean anybody much ill will.
It was
They
more
do have a lot
normal
of
kind of
weird
trouble.
things.
And now they're on
Teenager
their own.
trouble.
The only thing
They're not
you must
teenagers though. They're
If they
Whatever.
calm down a
late,
little bit,
late
if they
teenagers.
show their brotherly love. I remember one of them was 20 and the other one was like 21. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure that's
yeah.
pretty close
Yeah,
to
they
their age.
were too old to be acting the
Oh.
fool the way that they
Oh,
they
yeah.
do.
Oh yeah,
thought
they
they
were
were much younger.
irresponsible young men.
Or it was like
Yeah.
19 and 20. I'm not certain which.
Or what are
Yeah,
they
it
in
does
doggy
listen.
years?
But if they have their moment, Shabakka's crying. At Cora, as if they start to subside, just will continue a little bit. Like,
The only thing I may ask of you is that if you do plan to go on such a journey, you bring ample guards.
Yeah.
Your name can go
Yeah.
far.
They kind of look around. It's like I don't know. Maybe we'll build this place up. Maybe we'll bring some people up here or build a wall. I don't know. I bet there's a lot we could do, the two of us.
Make it
Just
great
if we
again.
just yeah.
Sounds like
Oh.
Pink Floyd, but
Make
okay.
Wachter House great again.
Oh no,
Sucks.
no.
That sucks.
Well,
That's bad.
I believe that if you
What?
two kept to your morals and remembered your past, you could make yourselves great and greater. Do not hold
I'd
yourself
cut back
back.
on the drinking.
Yes, well, but do not hold yourself back on those vices. Once in a while should be enough, and you should make great men of yourselves.
she says as a 20-year-old.
Mhm. That's not the first wise thing Cora said to them, so you get some cred there. Yeah, they seem to be in a pretty good place, and they wander off to strategize and talk about what they want to do.
the 60-year-old just stares into the fire.
Oh yeah. Elves.
Cora will end up taking some of the snow and brushing it off, and just after those two leave, she just kind of slumps down and just plops.
Wait, where are they wandering off to?
Plops.
Takes a bit
They're yeah. It takes energy to be
They just-
on, having the on personality, all right?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Oh god,
Sure.
yeah.
They just wandered off to temporary irrelevance while you guys could deal with whatever you guys wanted to
Okay.
deal with.
Not like we have
Okay,
to watch out and they're gonna get killed by something else.
No.
Why would you even say that?
It's
Because
pretty
we're in
Tempts
Ravenloft.
fate.
Because
The wolf comes back.
Ravenloft.
Oh
That
no.
is why you don't say it. You expect
Please
it,
don't
but you
tempt
never
fate.
say
I'm
it.
begging you.
Anyways, I think it's worth taking a quick check around the house just to see if there's any better places to hole up for the night.
No, this area here is like the reason there's an intact cupboard and that the wine was found here is basically because there's a bit of overhanging roof,
Okay.
and with that overhanging roof, you can enclose a small area. I mean, best would be to have some kind of canvas or branches or something like that to make a shelter out of. But like short of
There's
that,
lots of trees
you could
around.
build a. There are loads of trees, but you could also build like a reasonable sized fire. And if you kept the fire, had enough wood to keep the fire burning all night, you could pretty much all stay close enough to it not to deal with the cold too much. Now the other question is, it's not super late in the day, so bring up the world map and you guys can do
Well,
some
we had
planning.
originally planned on
go here
using
for a
Shabakka
second.
to get back. But
yeah, but I don't.
Mhm.
I don't want to do that.
don't know about that anymore.
Well, no, we just took a short rest. Oh, I see. But
Yep.
we already
So it's-
didn't we didn't the party already understand that as long as it's not in combat?
Well, we're
I
not
don't-
100% sure.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
think that was
that's a
fully
gamble.
explained. I think that was what Shabakka
You-
learned from DM interaction. We
Yeah.
don't know that.
I thought
Yeah,
Ramses
that's
understood that.
Also, every time
Well,
you take that, you
it's
like
what
you
we're
were an
seeing.
eagle, and then the combat happened unexpectedly,
And then you changed.
and then you changed. So like, yeah, there is a risk every time that combat might ensue.
True. I can also drop the form at any time.
Yeah, while we're
In
flying
that
in the
situation,
air.
can
That'd be
you?
Beautiful.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah.
It might be a save.
It depends on what the DM says now, doesn't it?
What was our next stop? Did we already
And that
I
bring
think we
the
were gonna.
third gem to the Wizard of Wine?
No, we were gonna try and
No.
go back to the Wizard of Wine, I
Wines.
believe.
Right.
So
now
I'm
you're
not
going to be
advocating for
from
everybody
here.
to
You're
get.
going to be constrained a little bit. If you're not flying, you're going to be constrained by water.
Yeah.
Crossing some
I think
of
our best-
those.
Well, we have water walking, so
We can walk over it.
yeah.
I think our best bet is to just at least head back to Argynvostel.
Really?
Well, for a safe place to stay the night if we need to.
I
I
think
thought
we're
we were
safe
all-
up here.
I thought we only took
Pretty much, it's just the cold that we have to worry about.
It's
because
fucking cold.
where did
We have
leave?
a fire.
Cora is probably still, shivering
isn't it
from
like
the back.
Isn't it like morning though? Because didn't
Shivering
we
more from
start
the cold,
this
or
day?
shivering more from like anger, nerves?
Is there
Um,
any way we
At
could
this
get
point,
on foot?
Didn't we
get
just come
to
here in the
Wizard of Wine?
morning? And we
Yeah,
spent
so
like a
it's
couple
early
hours.
afternoon right now.
We spent a
It's
couple
early
hours ferrying
afternoon right
people
now.
across from Argynvostel to here. So I think we'd only.
So it's early
There's a
afternoon.
fight, some stuff.
Would
Yeah.
we be able to get to the Wizard of Wine?
By walking?
Unlikely to
Before-
get there by foot.
I guess we could go back to
At this point.
Valaki. Bring Nikolai and Carl back before they get themselves fucking killed.
What do they plan to do? Like, what was their plan here?
Don't know if they had one.
They would choose to stay the night.
Which I think is a good idea.
I do not.
They've
We are
got
worn
they've
out.
got winter gear. They knew what to
We are
expect.
worn out.
The
I will
local
not remain warm
local
all
hostile
throughout the
taken
night
care of.
in this sort of area. Absolutely not. I will freeze.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about staying the night either.
How warm is it with the fire?
I
We
mean,
need a lot of wood.
the answer to that is that the side of you that faces the fire is hot. The other side is cold.
Yeah, this is really high
That
elevation.
sure do be
right?
how fire works.
Yeah.
All right,
Weird
if I
that.
remember correctly from the map of the building, there were like barrels and crap like that in other spots. Perhaps we can roll them up there
There's
for further
scrap
shelter
wood
for
to
the
burn.
area. Not to
There's also-
burn, to
to
shelter.
have a fire big enough to keep you safe without winter sleeping bags and stuff like that, though, it's going to need to be a pretty big fire, which means more than the wood that's in the house. More so, but the Wachter boys probably would be fine with a small fire and their sleeping gear,
But do we not
because they
think there
knew what
might
they were
be
getting into when
other
they came up.
dangers?
Yeah,
for
but
them
I'm
here?
concerned about leaving them
So
here
the-
because they might get fucking murdered by something.
So the
That is a valid concern.
okay.
That is a valid concern, but and the boys aren't with us right now, or are they?
They are.
I mean, it's
They've
pretty
wandered off
surprising
to-
that
I would.
they
I was
got
gonna
here
say,
without being
They're
attacked.
around.
So the
It is-
Oh,
point
insane that they even got all the way here.
Because
Like,
which way did they
absolutely.
go? Did they go all the way around past the windmill
start
place
singing, I
and
guess.
up that hill? Like, how the
Windmill
hell did they
place,
get
yeah.
here?
Yeah. The
Past
thing.
bone grinder and
All
up
right.
the hill.
So the point I'm trying to make.
Jeez.
So let me get the word in. The point I'm trying to make is
Yep.
with more robust shelter, there's probably a reduced need for the size of a fire. Can we go that route too?
That's what I said. There's a bunch of trees
Yes.
here. I don't mind making a shelter.
Yeah, we have the rest of the day.
So totally.
There we go.
But-
Why don't we try
But
that?
if the whole thing is well, we're going to try to escort the boys back to Valaki. The boys need to want to go back to Valaki. We can't just say we're going to take them, or they will just come back here as they've already done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll be stubborn.
Right? They're not children.
They have emotional trauma from Valaki, and they chose to come up here to get away from it. I think there's some element of them that's willing to take some risk.
Yeah.
To stay here.
My proposal to the group is this. I say we've got half a day. Let's help build a shelter here so that if they're here, they're at least semi-protected from the elements while they're here and while they build this.
That makes sense. What about
Girl, we all have
patrolling?
emotional trauma. Join the club.
Yeah, tell me about it. Why don't we also patrol the area and just see if there's any other creatures around that could attack them?
Yeah, there
Fair.
may be a Yeti up here. You never know.
Yeah.
Yeti.
Someone called me that once.
Once.
I was going to say, I feel like Shabakka
Once.
technically is a Yeti.
Yeah.
It sounds like something Filbert would say.
Yeah. Oh, he gets all sad thinking about that Filbert would have said that. It
Okay,
was
well, I'm
Filbert
going
who
to
called him that.
Work on. I'm going to work on building a shelter.
All right. So the wine is warm, folks. So if someone needs to warm up while we're building a shelter, I'm going to help build the shelter as well.
And so, who's staying around the fire?
I am gonna go do the patrolling.
Fallon will go
because
too.
I have survival, and
No one's staying around the fire.
I'm gonna check for tracks and stuff like that, and
Well,
just see if there's any kind of creatures
boys
around.
might help build. What about you, Cora?
I didn't realize I was muted. Whoopsie.
Try not
Why
to
is nobody
freeze,
listening
babe.
to me?
So I was gonna say that Cora would likely stay around the fire. I don't think she could stand
I will give
being
her my
further
blanket
away
then.
from it. Yeah.
Makes
That way,
sense.
it'll keep her back warm as well.
Carl, what you
blanket.
up to? Sorry, Sasha.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
All
you
right.
got two blankets now, baby.
The thought he could take his breastplate off and use that as a reflective thing to kind of contain the heat around the fire. Wrap himself in the bedroll and go look for stuff. Right.
Make it
If
easy
that
bake
would be
oven.
of value to someone else, he will do that.
I think
No.
we're probably good. I think most people are going to be up and moving.
Okay. You keep
Cora-
his breastplate on.
Shelter comes together pretty well. The patrol of the neighboring area finds actually some small wild animal tracks. It looks like up here in the mountains, where not a lot of people from down below travel very often, there might actually be some small animals that the people down there might not see very often. Rabbits. and
That
stuff.
aren't from
Wildlife that
Australia?
isn't trying to kill you.
Exactly, that type
Exactly.
of thing. Yeah.
So
Yep,
like,
not
hunt,
from Australia.
Who've made a home up here.
so they could
It's-
hunt for food here, is what you're
the
saying?
wisps actually would leave tracks, so they'd be hard to find in a patrol like this. But you don't see any sign of more of them.
Should I
Oh,
roll?
good.
A
I
survival roll?
gave it to you.
Oh,
I
okay.
assumed that you were good at that stuff, so
Yeah.
I gave you a success.
Oh, plus 9.
Um,
Nice.
While they were doing that, I think
I should have
Cora
let you roll, but yeah.
we have
can show off
alchemist
your plus
fire. We have like 5 flasks of alchemist fire. She wants to experiment a little bit to see how long that would last without anything to burn on. Because
Away
alchemist
from
fire,
our fire and our
Well,
shelter.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean in the sense of like Alchemist Fire, at least on the stat block itself, doesn't actually have a limit in which it goes out by itself, which implies it doesn't.
I thought it was 2 rounds.
No, it says that
My Google search is returning 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
So it'll burn for
Whoa,
a couple of minutes. Okay.
that's a lot.
Yeah. Although I don't know. This is some weird game. This isn't D&D.
who knows?
Okay,
I don't know.
never mind.
Yeah, but at least on the implication from the stat block, because oil, it says it burns for like 2 rounds. The Alchemist Fire doesn't say that, which would imply something else, in my opinion. But that'd be up to you. And Cora wants to see what that would be, if it'd be
It'll-
helpful for less
It'll
wood
burn out
during
at the
night.
worst possible moment.
Will be if it'd be helpful for less wood during the night if we assume that we're going to be doing watches anyway.
Oh, yeah, it says
wait,
it.
You know what? I've got regular
You've
oil.
got 5 Alchemist Fire.
Mm-hmm.
I have regular oil.
We got that from our good friend Esmeralda.
Yep.
Yeah, I think each of us
Yeah,
have
Did we?
5.
that's my guess.
We
Yeah,
each
each of
have
us
Yeah,
got
I
five.
have
one.
1.
Oh, I have 5.
No, I've got 5.
Yeah, each of us got 5.
Yeah.
I'm very
I
bad
have-
at looking at the quantity of things.
I
that
have-
in my inventory.
There were like
Class of
100
regular
of
lamp
them.
oil.
Yeah. The so I'd say if you spent 1 hour, you could half the wood that you need to keep the fire burning.
Okay.
don't
So
know
yeah,
if-
How
Cora's
much
at
is
least
Alchemist Fire compared to regular oil, like value-wise?
It's worth a lot.
Fair bit, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
So
Alchemist Fire is
that's a waste.
bordering on a magic
does
item.
anyone else have just regular oil?
No.
Yes.
right.
What do I got in here?
Now, let's use that first.
I've got
Well,
a tinderbox. That's
Why
what
do
I
we
got.
need to
That's about
use
it.
why do we need to use oil though? We have wood and we already have a fire
It'll
going.
reduce the amount of wood we need to use. That's what he was saying.
That doesn't make logical sense. If you put oil in a fire, it's not going to burn better than actually
Well,
Longer.
if
It'll
you-
just burn
Well,
hot. It'll
Alchemist-
just burn
Alchemist
more.
Fire-
It won't
Picture
burn as
Alchemist
brightly
Fire
as
as
a regular
napalm.
log.
Yeah,
And
it's
it'll
probably
take
not
longer
good for
to
the
burn.
fumes either. Alchemist fire wouldn't be good for the fumes, I would assume.
I don't know clue.
Fumes, dude.
Doesn't specify.
Either
Also have
way,
torches.
she doesn't know if that's actually going to be useful or not, but she's at least going to be experimenting with that while other people are doing things, so she feels less like she's not doing anything.
Yep. Yeah, I think to supplement the wood, Alchemist Fire would be really good. Not that it necessarily would burn like ridiculously long on its own, but like as part of a fire, it could really improve a fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about
Less
torches?
wood, more burn.
Yep.
What about torches?
Ooh, I have
It's-
those.
basically
not
just
so
wood.
much.
For 10
It's
minutes,
Yeah.
I think.
wood.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
got
there-
there's
there's-
trees around,
They're
right?
also really small.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
Yeah,
trees.
there's trees.
You can find wood.
We
Yeah.
could just
Okay.
chop wood.
Yeah.
All right,
we've
so we'll
we've got
just
an axe that chops wood.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
that's
the
true.
Yesterhill
That's
axe as well.
That is the wood.
I think
Single
most
swing.
axes
Oh
chop
yeah, the
wood.
magic axe, yeah.
Yeah.
Way
Specifically
easier.
for cutting trees.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way easier.
Yes.
All right.
That
Who wants
I
to
mean
take out
that
some aggression?
actually. Yeah.
Who
I
wants to
use
what?
the
That-
axe of the
that is-
lumberjack.
Who wants to take
Yeah.
out
Yep.
some aggression? He-
I'll
and
I'll go cut trees.
Sasha holds out the Yesterhill axe. This will help you a lot.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's literally like a single swing to take down like a medium-sized
Normal
tree.
tree.
Yeah. Whack.
And they're like
Cool.
timber, it just falls right over. Yeah, you've never cut wood so efficiently.
All right. Ramses will go and cut down some trees, cut off all the branches,
So Jess,
start dragging stuff back.
He's like a
Yep.
busy little beaver.
Jess, if I go scouting around, I want to take 10 minutes to do the ritual cast of Speak with Animals and see if I can
Mm-hmm.
find any animals around this area to let me know how like safe it is around here for if there'd be anything that would like be a predator or anything around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you follow some rabbit tracks and you find a rabbit that that you could chat with, and he's like, safe? Is anywhere really safe?
Well, I mean,
I don't really encounter like wolves very often or anything like that, and I guess I actually haven't seen anything particularly scary in my whole life, but I still can't believe in safe.
well, yeah, of course. I meant,
Ah!
have you seen any monsters though? Like, what about around
What's a
that
monster?
that you stay away from that house, I assume, right? There's some spooky lights in there.
I don't know when they got there. They weren't always there.
Oh,
They came recently. They used to be down in this crag down here. I think they must have heard some noises.
Sorry, the crag where?
So Vamp, this is Ramses, you can only hear this if Vamp is
No, that's okay.
passing on the message. Yep.
yeah. I will. So I'll just go around and I'll spend a few hours just scoping the area and just getting a lay of the land to see if it's relatively safe for them to be there.
So you can see what this crag that is the rabbit was talking about, and it's like a little small crack in the crag hillside. Doesn't look like there's anything in there anymore. You know, you can see that they may have traveled up from here towards the house at some point, but no sign of anything else dangerous lingering behind.
That's what I'll do for the few hours while they're doing chopping wood and setting up shelter.
Cool. The rabbit is frightened of everything, but doesn't actually have any concrete stories of anything dangerous that's ever happened.
Okay, well, if a rabbit
Just
has lived here a long time and not had a problem, it's probably be good.
I mean, a long time for him is probably a year, but yeah.
True. All right, anyone else?
I'm just making a shelter.
The shelter
Yep, same
gets
here.
made. Yep. Fire is burning. You guys have set it up. Okay. Anything else you want to do today?
Nope.
Write in my journal.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit of healing left if anybody's not at max.
I'm full.
Anyone who spoke there was muted.
Muted
Sounds like
again?
everyone's healed then.
No.
Yeah, we'll assume
Alright.
everyone's healed.
All right.
Yeah, Cora is pretty much max, so she used her hit
Sounds
dice.
good.
Gotcha.
So we take a long rest.
Yeah, you guys can rest the night. So the fire it's still hard to sleep by a fire like this. You know, a hot fire on one side, cold on the other, but the shelter is good, keeps in a lot of the heat through the
Well,
night.
you just gotta keep rotating
Indeed.
like a 7-Eleven
Yeah.
hot dog.
Yeah,
That's
we
right.
need an artificer to put everyone on a rotisserie.
There you go.
Um,
Yeah, you have to
without-
alternate which leg goes out from under the blanket, and
Oh God, every night of my life.
Without
Yep.
putting much thought into it, Cora subconsciously will always put either Fallon or Ramses in between her and Shabakka.
Oh, Fallon is between Shabakka and Cora
Yes.
all the time.
Because she's
Fallon
not even
is-
doing it consciously; she's just doing it. And
Fallon
going,
is.
No.
Fallon's doing it consciously.
Fallon's being very
And
conscious
whether
of
or
that.
not anyone
He
else
has not-
notices,
she's-
Sasha actually stays up all the night, except for, like, he's a half elf, so he does that reverie thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
right.
he generally does
Yeah.
not go to sleep. And he just watches over everyone carefully.
Fallon has
Do you guys
barely
post
taken
your
her eyes off
normal
of
watches?
Shabakka.
Yeah, normal watches.
Okay.
I don't think half
Cool.
elves have trance. Well, that was awkward.
And the next day
Yeah.
comes, the dawn breaks, and
Oh, look.
you're
It's
high up,
broken.
and you awake at a reasonable hour and feel pretty rested. Consider all things considered.
And we have smoked
And,
morning wine.
Mm-hmm. The Nikolai has been out. Actually, whoever is on last watch saw him get up and kind of head out of the house, but he's returned now, and he's gathered some plants and stuff like that he throws into a pan and with a little bit of oil and is frying up for breakfast. And, yeah.
Nice.
It's like a bit of like winter cabbage, and he's frying it with an oil.
Just making sure the rabbit didn't end up
Cabbages.
in the pan too.
Ooh.
Yeah. I was gonna say that like it was an animal, and then I realized, oh,
Yeah.
that'd be a bad way to go right now, so changed my mind.
It
It's the
was the
same
monster.
rabbit. No.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I just won't deal with that question right now, I thought. But then I really thought I should have thought further and thought they're never gonna get away with that.
Was this long rest able to recover the level of exhaustion, or we need a different long rest?
No, this was sufficient. You guys spent a lot of time building a shelter and a fire. This counts as a full long rest, which would get rid of one level
Bunny.
of exhaustion.
Oh, what do we have an exhaustion from?
Cora
got
and
cold.
Fallon were
Have exhaustion
freezing.
from
Oh,
cold.
I see.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if I've got anything. I don't think I do. No heat.
The young man looking up at me, very hopeful. So I think I need to put him out in the backyard.
Okay.
He's looking at me
So
with so much hope.
the-
I need to come out of the house.
I need to
Right?
This is not the land for hope.
I should have named him Strahd.
So you guys wake up. The Wachter boys still want to hang around, but they have a great shelter now and a place to burn fires. So you guys can head out whenever you'd like. And the question is, where are you headed and how you're going to get there?
So after a night's rest, and it was not a very fitful sleep for Shabakka, he was tossing and
Yeah,
turning
it
and
was
calling
fitful.
out, and possibly some more crying. And so he looks pretty haggard in the morning. I know.
It's one of those nights where you didn't really notice whether you were sleeping or not. You felt like you were awake, and only at like 5 a.m. Like at like 7 a.m. you realize you'd been asleep for a little while,
Right.
but you have no idea when you fell asleep.
Yeah. A lot of thoughts going on.
Yeah.
So I know you may not trust me to use my wild shape, and I don't blame you, and I don't intend to use it anymore, at least in combat. But if you'll allow me to at least get us out of here, or another option is we use polymorph to change two of us into, or no, I can only do one of us into a giant eagle.
Don't when you use the polymorph, don't you take on the the intelligence, the thought patterns of the creature you're probably morphed into?
You still can, you still are yourself and can make choices the way you would. You just have the intelligence of the animal. Giant eagles are quite intelligent, though.
But it could be somebody other than Shabakka who
Yes.
turned into the animal as well.
That's the point. So, if
Okay.
I wild shape and maintain it polymorph, then we could all travel right away. If we don't, then we have to go back and forth like we did to get here.
I say we go the efficient route. I trust you.
And I look
There's
over.
also walking to the north past the. You could make it to Valaki if you just walked down the hill and went past the bone grinder and followed the road.
How far could we travel
Even with the
in an hour if we're flying?
in an hour, it's like 12. Flying,
Yeah.
you can basically make it to Argynvostel almost to Valaki in an hour.
What
So
about
we could make it to Wizard of Wines easy.
Yeah.
in a
Oh,
couple,
how long does polymorph last?
for an hour, but my
Oh,
wild
okay.
shape lasts for
Yeah, but that
3
doesn't.
hours.
It's
3 hours.
yeah, but we need something that's going to get all of us somewhere.
Well, I can cast it twice in a day. So in 2 hours, would we be able to get to Wizard of Wines at 80 speed of 80?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
And the reason we're going there is to drop off the gem, right?
Yeah.
80A. Yes, you could make it to the Wizard of Wines.
I thought we already gave them the gem.
No, this is the second gem.
Not the third,
We have
not
the
second one.
last.
This is the
the
last
third,
gem.
well, the third gem, yeah,
I...
the one we got from
Second.
Baba La Saga.
The
Yeah,
Baba the Saga
they
gem
don't know
that
where the
has
third
that
one is.
No,
gem.
they have. Oh
They
yeah,
have
they
the third.
don't.
They
Really?
lost one a long time ago, and then the last two they had went to the Druids and to
Yeah,
the
so
Baba Saga.
the
I forgot
family
about that.
member
I thought
that
they had
ran the
one.
inn in Valaki, who is dead now, was
Yeah.
kicked out of the Wizard of Wines
Because
for
he lost
being
the first one.
on guard when the first one was stolen a long time ago.
Yeah.
Some suspected
about that.
them of taking it, but yeah, that one has been missing for a very long time and never turned up. And they've been running the vineyard with 2 gems for the last 20 years or so, and then both
Probably
of those
Strahd.
gems were stolen recently.
Or the Amber Temple, maybe.
It usually kind of comes down to Strahd, so I'm just going to
It's
assume it was
Strahd.
him.
At the end of the day, we can just blame Strahd
At
regardless.
the end of the day, it's usually Strahd.
Always Strahd.
Oh, is Strahd keeping somebody in this realm? Then it's his fault.
Yep. So unfortunately, only 2 of the gems, like all 3 of the gems, are missing from the Wizard of Wines. They had leads on 2. You have
They got one
returned
back.
1, and they're carrying 1.
So, a question for you: with us being this high in elevation, is it possible that the cloud, the normal gloom that covers this area, is even slightly diminished from normal?
It is slightly diminished from normal. You get the impression that if you go up the mountain much further, that it would be even more diminished. That maybe you'd be able to see pretty far.
Go like over
Possibly
here or
see the
something.
sun.
I mean, quite frankly, you wouldn't be able to see any further than the map allows, right? Right. So like, but it'd be less foggy. You'd be able to see further out in one glance.
But you wouldn't actually be able to
But
see
then
the
you'd-
sun
you'd-
itself.
Yeah, good question. You'd have to find out when you went up there. The what you would be able to see is you'd be able to look down on the fog in the valleys and things like that.
Hmm. Well,
So what does Cora and Fallon think about flying? Or do they want to walk?
If this is talking about on
I will
like
have
Shabakka,
I will let Shabakka polymorph me into a giant eagle, and you two could ride on me, and then Sasha can ride on Shabakka.
like you're the test dummy, Sasha.
that works.
That's everybody.
So while he's riding on
That's where we're
Shabakka, he's gonna say, "Hey Shabakka, while we're on our way, see if we can gain elevation, so we're above the cloud cover. See if we can actually see the brightness out."
Okay. So I guess we'll fly.
Is everyone on board with this plan?
Well, I think Sasha's saying that quietly to
Yep.
Shabakka. I don't think we're involved.
Yeah, no, I meant the plan for
The flying plan.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
Ramses.
Cora
think so.
is mildly uncomfortable with it, but she's not going to say yes or no.
Yeah,
you know, you're just gonna
Fallon's
go
not
with it.
crazy about it, but she'll just go along with what everybody else wants to do.
Okay.
If we feel walking is safer, that is fine.
I think flying is safer. There's less things that can attack us.
Yes, same here.
Ah,
And
that's what I
flying
wanted
is
you to
actually
think. No, I'm kidding.
a more
Exactly.
surreal experience. Sometimes you just have to go with, those things that make you
So
feel more at peace.
Is the plan then to fly straight from here to the Wizard of Wines?
Well, we'll need to
Yes.
stop like about here, halfway through, to recast the spell.
That's fine.
So say somewhere in this square, maybe.
Near the summit, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe here. It
That's
you
where
know.
we'll land.
I mean, you guys will be able to figure that out.
Yeah,
That's
you can
We
tell
have
when
a
the
map.
as long
spell's.
as you don't like overextend.
You can tell when the spell's starting to expire. It's sort of, you get a feeling. At least that's what they do on Critical Role.
You suddenly don't sail aloft anymore. And
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I sprout my
just-
little tiny wings and start flapping them like mad.
Whoops.
Cool. Okay, the flight goes uneventfully. You guys do manage your recast mid-journey and continue to fly over the Svalich Woods to the south of Kresk and land near the Wizard of Wines.
Do we see anything
And as you're
interesting on that
approaching,
first peak, by the way?
no, but it is high enough to be snowy at that point, so it's cold again.
Oh,
Traveling
actually,
along there.
prior to taking off, or when we get
Mhm.
here, if we don't want to go back that far, I will cast resistance on everybody, which adds to all their saving throws against cold.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, since this is not like a saving throw versus damaging cold, I'm going to say that the resistance spell actually is going to provide sufficient protection to avoid the save.
Okay.
So,
Although I think
that's
resistance
good.
only lasts 1 round or 1 minute, doesn't it?
I could check. 1 sec.
Oh, well, that would be important.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
also
it
a
does.
concentration spell.
So
Oh, it is too.
yeah.
Okay. Well, never mind.
Okay, then maybe neither of those things happen.
Neither of those things
So
happen.
yeah, we'll need
Is there a
one
better one
more save to see if
smokes.
your exhaustion level comes back.
What about
Well, they also have blankets, if that helps at all.
when Sasha and I go up into the upper level, do we get out of the cloud cover, or does it just do the mist thing?
So as you climb, you leave the fog behind, and you can see far across the land. Unfortunately, above you are storm clouds roiling in the sky.
I'm not
This
going
is
up.
a
It wouldn't
an
be
Oh,
wise to go
unusual
into
wonderful.
vision.
those.
I recognize that.
Yeah, they're too high.
Right.
But you're basically between the fog, and you can see the land beneath you, and then there's deeper cloud cover above you still.
Oh, okay.
But toward the horizon, do we see greater light?
It's just a storm cloud, bud.
Yeah, no, storm clouds
Yeah,
are
it's
above
pretty
us.
early in the morning, so
So the sun is not above us. It's more toward the horizon, I would think, right?
Yeah, I imagine what you're getting at here with these questions is there ever a moment where you see direct sunlight? Is that
Yes,
kind of what you're
exactly.
getting for?
Yes.
Yeah, because the answer is no.
Mm,
There's like not during the day. The sky
okay.
is mostly obscured. It is completely obscured. Actually, is like to be more clear. The sky
Yeah.
is always covered in cloud during the day and only clears up at night, and the moon when the moon comes out, and you can see stars and the moon. It's like if somebody could have engineered it, this, and they didn't like the sun, this is how it would be.
Okay. Yeah. In other words, i.e., the curse of Strahd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else interesting we see from our higher vantage point?
You can see most of the land beneath you. The only parts of the land that you can that are unobscured by fog during this part that you can catch, like the valley is pretty where the river is pretty foggy. Um, the area where you expect Valaki and the forests to be is pretty foggy. The Lake Zarevich, north of Valaki, is pretty foggy. But there's a mountain to the east or to the north of where you are that pops up out of the fog again, much like the one that you've been on this time. And it's also a cold mountain north of the lake, and but you can see it here. It pops out of the fog, and it's under the storm clouds. So that is the thing that kind of draws your attention.
Okay. But nothing like no points of interest or things that I can pick out with my eagle eyes. What do my eagle eyes see?
Nothing of interest that you have any reason to look out for.
Okay.
Ooh, there's a rabbit.
I see that rabbit.
You do fly actually from here. You basically fly over the old village of Berez, where the Battle of Saga was. Um, Also very foggy. You don't get a clear view of it, but you basically like fly right over it almost.
Anything interesting there?
But you make it to the Wizard of Wines,
Okay.
And we got our
and
our 2 bottles that are intact, and the other one we drank, right? Pretty much because we had to.
so the Wachter boys would rather you left them behind. It's kind of one of the main reasons they came up here, and they shared
It's
one with you. But
got it. All right.
yeah, they'd like you to have left that there.
Okay.
That's fine. As long as
So
they
we'll
don't
drink
burn the
just the one
deeds to keep warm.
We just drank the 1 bottle of smoked wine.
Mm-hmm.
So we saved
Yep.
their lives and gave them a deed to their own property, and then can't even spare a bottle of wine.
They won't spare the last 2 bottles of extremely rare vintage. Yeah,
True,
okay.
true.
Okay. And really get a
The
mad
They're
technical
Grammy
something
drink.
to make it taste better.
Yeah. As you approach the Wizard of Wines, the you can see people are coming outside. Somebody must have alerted them to your approach, and they're waiting for you when you land.
Or do crows fly in with us?
And yes, that if you did make a perception roll, that's what you would have found. That yes, that there were crows that had seen you approaching.
Ravens.
And so yeah, they land and said, "What news?"
Cora has it.
I do?
I think so. Don't you have it?
No.
It isn't Fallon.
Oh,
That I
Holy crap,
know.
I think we left it behind. Yeah.
nope. No, actually, I got blown out of the thing. It could have been me. It's probably me.
Nobody's got it.
Honestly, it's either Ramses or Fallon.
No, I think
Ramses
it-
and Cora. It's
Yeah.
one of you two.
What are we talking about?
The
The
green
gem.
gem.
Jim.
Oh, I
Yeah, I
have
went
it.
in. Oh, you have it. Okay.
Yeah, I had it because it was in my presence when we had. It was in my possession when I turned into the animal form, and
No,
that's why
that's-
Strahd couldn't get it.
No, that was the first one. This is the one that we took from Baba Yaga's hut, but I'm the one that went in afterwards
Baba Yaga.
to get it and open the chest and get myself
Oh
blown
yeah,
to bits.
that's right. You would have it then.
You did
Yeah.
blow yourself the fuck up.
I certainly blew myself. Oh well. So I will unwrap it from a thing inside my bag and hand out the second gem. Say, I believe this is
They-
yours.
Oh, wow, this is gonna make such a huge difference for us. We were with the spell that was cast on our crops. We could start making wine again, but not good stuff. With the return of one of these gems, we could sustain ourselves going forward, and that was great. And with the spell, we could even make some pretty good wine for a little while. With two of these gems, and the spell hasn't worn off even yet, we might even be able to make some really great wine for at least a little while the spell lasts, and keep ourselves going with a good supply far into the future. You've done this land a great favor. I can't believe we were able to. It's so lucky we were able to meet you and get this. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, and hopefully we might find the third one day. You never know.
That would be a boon.
Don't get my hopes up.
Neither will we.
I
But
think you very well may. I have faith in you, he says.
okay, so what sort of time of day are we? We're 3 hours into the day, so it's still early.
Yeah,
Yep, about that.
and I've used up both my fourth
Right.
level spells. So
Would
Oh,
you
Yeah, that's
would
that's
you
right.
like
'Cause you-
to sample our new batch?
Sure.
Okay, it's rather young, so be patient with it. I'm sure it will grow into itself in the next year or so. But yeah, here, try this. It gives you something that smells a little bit more like grape juice than
Hey, it's something.
wait, haven't we only been gone a few
Indeed.
days?
Could be worse. It could be grape drink.
Yes, we're very quick at this.
He's made more wine in 2
Well,
days.
Yeah,
That's not
that's
gonna
what
be
I'm
good
saying. This
wine.
wine is not wine yet,
Yeah.
right?
No,
This
it's
is
grape juice.
It's grape juice, baby. But with like no sugar.
Oh yeah.
Sugar free.
yeah. It seems like if anybody is at all familiar with wine, it seems like a good start to the process, and not much more than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been making wine for a long time, and we think that this is actually going to turn out to be pretty good stuff. Given how this tastes now, I think this is a promising start. I mean, it's just a start, of course, but
Shabakka will go up to him and say, yeah, the spell should last a while. And depending on how well our quests go, I can return and do it again. It should last a year, though, but
Oh,
I'm not
well.
sure if that applies to this land. But
Was it a year? I thought it was a month.
it
year?
says,
Change it to a month here.
says if you
because
cast
of
the
the
spell
land.
over 8 hours, which I did, all plants in a half-mile radius center on the point where you start, become rich for 1 year and produce twice the normal
That's-
amount of food.
That'll do it. That will basically give them. I'm gonna say that gives them as if they had the third gem for a year.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's a great outcome. They thank you once again for all your service, and they basically they want to throw a celebration and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys have the time to hang out, but they're gonna have one anyway, whether you stick around or not. And they thank you as if they won't see you again.
Oh. What do
This
they
may
know?
be the conclusion of the Wizard of Wine's plotline.
Yeah. What is our?
So you can. I'm not saying that anything super bad is going to happen to them. I'm just saying like they thank you and appreciate the moment because yeah, you've completed this part of the storyline. Yeah.
We did it. We did it. Take that off the list.
Yep.
Yeah.
We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it.
Yay! I'm the map.
The map.
Right. That's what I heard.
So, is the only thing we have left going to the Amber Temple?
Yeah, I think so.
We're gonna go to Mount Baratok.
Oh yeah, we were gonna go check out Mount Veritok, see if we can find that wizard.
And there were a
Mage?
few last pieces of things that you didn't want to deliver right away. So
Wedding dress.
Oh, the wedding
there was
dress?
the
Yeah.
dress, yeah. That might have been it actually.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
that was
this
the
has
last
been
thing.
delivered.
So, where's Mount Baratok? Is that the one above the lake?
It's the one north of the lake that you were able to see from the sky.
Okay. So, we have traveled from Wizard of Wines to Valaki in
Oh, and
a day before, right?
sorry, touch arena. Delivering
Yeah.
arena to Krez was the one.
I liked that
yeah.
slip up. That was a beautiful one, Jesse.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Strahd's not the only one who could make that mistake.
So, I think we can go by land and get to Valaki by the nightfall. If we go quickly.
That should be doable.
Alright.
Yep.
So, do you guys
You
want to
guys
stay and
rolling?
celebrate, or do you want to go move on?
Well, this is probably one of the few bright points in our existence here.
Yeah, I think we should celebrate. We have so little
That's
few
good.
reasons to celebrate
There-
most of the time.
There is no reason to ever celebrate here, so why don't we?
Exactly, right?
It's only Ramsey saying that because last time we celebrated and had a together moment, it was actually his brother.
Yeah,
Right?
that's true.
I feel left out.
Wow.
I will party too. Yep. They seem like they maybe thought you were gonna be on your way, but when you say when you actually take them up on their invitation, they clap their hands and bring out the wine, bring out the thing, and
Bring
what
out the grape juice.
fiddles and stuff like that. And
Bring
like,
out the grape juice.
yeah, totally. And the like, there's 3 generations of the family here, and the middle generation is the one that's kind of, you know, they're really able to put the entertainment part into this, and they put in a good deal of effort. For the second night in a row, you've got a, you know, decent sized fire to sit around, and they bring out some musical instruments, and the kids are jumping around and dancing. Even the ones that you've brought in from Valaki, from the inn, they seem to be getting into the swing of the celebration, and everyone has a good time. Even the Ewoks, they're having a party. It's an Ewok party. Everyone's having a great time.
Yub yub.
Yep.
Yum, yum.
So, yeah. Is there anything anyone you'd like to talk to during the party? Let's start with Shabakka. Is there anyone you'd like to address, or anything you want to bring up with anybody there?
I feel like so I'll just explain Shabakka's feelings, and you guys may or may not notice them, depending on how perceptive your character is. So Shabakka is feeling a little bit of like, considering his own family life and watching this family have a wonderful celebration together and show that they care about each other, and he never had that. So he's a little bit down about that and jealous, but he still appreciates that for what it is. He looks at his party members and considers that Ramsey seems to be okay with him, and things are fine there, and same with Sasha, because he's not known him long enough. But he looks over at Cora and Fallon, and he feels such guilt when he looks at Cora, and he feels worried that Fallon, because of what he did to Cora, will not want to be his friend anymore. He feels like he wants to go talk to them, but he's afraid to, and thinks maybe they're better off with him at a distance anyways. So he's sitting there looking at them, sort of wanting to talk, but not doing anything about it.
I think this is something that's probably visible to Fallon and Cora. How do you guys...
He's not very subtle, so yeah.
Yeah.
Big puppy eyes.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I don't think Fallon is going to be the one to start a heart-to-heart.
What?
Nope.
Well, I know, crazy, right?
That's crazy.
Sasha will do his best to see if he can get everyone else to kind of live in the moment and enjoy it for what it is. Grab those brief segments of joy for what you can, and enjoy them.
Absolutely.
So to that extent, he'll maybe talk to others, or just dance around, or just sit there and enjoy the music, like, tapping his foot or whatever.
Yeah, there is sentiment amongst the people who are here, the family that's here, and they tap into that. They recognize that you are here for the party, and as the vineyard, and as the people who are often required to kind of carry the party, they totally respond to that energy, and they dance with you at the fire, and they sing with you when you want it, and yeah, they're more than welcome to more than able to aid you in the celebration and have a great time.
Cool. Yeah, and he's gonna see if he can get the rest of the party to kind of to enjoy it as well.
Cool.
Ramses will partake in the party, but he'll just sort of be keeping an eye on everybody else. In the sense of he knows there's some distrust, and he wants to make sure nothing happens between certain members of the party.
He's mother henning.
I'm mother henning.
Cora?
So for Cora specifically, for the last, as long as she's been kind of awake, she's been a little bit, I wouldn't say the word distant, but somewhat similar, as if she's thinking through something. And this is an expression that's quite common on Cora's face, where she doesn't really want to explain herself, nor does she feel inclined to go through each of these individual processes that she's going through until she's finished with the conclusion, if she feels like it's important to impart that information onto her. From the vibe, it seems that she hasn't come to a decision yet. She's still considering what she feels about what has happened and what can be done in the light of things. As it falls into this party scheme, she would be resistant at first to the thought of celebration, given that she's normally, from a experience of being an isolationist, the noise might be too much for her when she's trying to think. But I think over time she would soften to the idea of celebrating to celebrate, as this is a novel to her. It's not something she's ever experienced, really, before or after all of this.
So she basically
this is-
stops trying to think. Right?
It's a different kind of celebration too. It's like it's a small scale thing, a small group of people who know each other really well,
It's familial.
who would like bring music to the situation and fire, and they hang around outside, dance with whoever's around. It's a pretty genuine celebration. It's not like a big party scene or like a ball or anything formal. It's really genuine. It might affect. I mean, when you say that your character softens to it, I think that it probably is because it's different than most of the other celebrations you've been to.
Most of the celebrations, I would say, in her past were ritualistic in nature. It was very rare that large groups of her tribe or her nomadic people even got together. She would rarely see more than one or two in a few months, because her job was to be alone for most times. So the only time she wasn't was when it had something to do with her becoming something great, becoming better. So yes, seeing a family that is appreciating and working with each other is very novel.
And 3 generations all at the same party.
Yeah.
Where the middle generation is doing most of the work, the elder generation is appreciating the party, and the kids are off running around, jumping up and down and dancing, but still all interacting together.
Because I think she could say that she knows her parents and she might love them, but she doesn't know them, and she has never experienced these things with them, despite the whole thing. So for part of it, it ends up stop thinking and more a little bit like people watching. She's not going to involve herself completely. She's not going to dance. She's not going to do anything, but she might huddle up close to a fire and just watch, because that's.
Well, one of the kids does like approach you and try to engage you and bring you into the party, into the celebration.
How can I refuse a kid?
Cora definitely can. She has 2 younger siblings.
She's only 10, but she wants to know if you want to dance around the fire with the kids.
Gosh, damn it, Jesse!
Thou shall not brew.
Oh God.
Only if Fallon does.
She's okay with that. She holds the hand out to each of you.
Sounds really out there doing cartwheels.
No, I doubt it.
I don't.
But
It's easy. She is to Fallon. She says, "It's easy. You'll get it. Just do like this," and she just kind of jumps up and down on the spot.
Aw,
Fallon's just like, I don't dance.
neither do they, but they're enjoying themselves.
Like this, she says, but this time she holds her hands out to her side, like straight out to her side, and like twists her body sideways so that her arms go up and down. It's easy.
Fallon
And
looks
they-
vaguely
they-
panicked.
Fallon,
Yeah.
you want to do what the child says, right? She seems very earnest.
You can do it together. You two, you both don't want to dance with me. Dance with each other.
That's
Okay.
even more embarrassing.
At that point,
Todd, it looks up to you.
Fallon, Cora will just kind of, there's like a sort of sigh where she goes, "Yep, this is enough," and she stands and she holds out a hand to you, and then she holds out another hand to little girl.
Fallon will take her hand.
Okay, and Cora has never done anything like this before, so with a sort of practiced trying to cover her a little bit of like fluster, she's gonna twirl both of them towards herself.
The way Fallon's movements are so awkward.
Next saving throws for everybody.
Right. Hero's about to die.
And when
the little girl is just ecstatic that she got you two involved, and she dances around you. She'll basically do like any maneuver you want. And yeah, she's just like dancing, jumping around, moving in crazy directions. See, I told you it was easy. Are you having fun? She looks at Fallon. Are you having fun?
when
She seems to take that at face
so
value.
convincing.
She must be a child.
when Shabakka sees that they're having fun, he sort of sidles over and stands nearby, but like kind of dances around. And he's actually surprisingly good at dancing. You wouldn't expect it with his gangly limbs and whatnot, but he's actually pretty dexterous. So he's actually practiced on his own amongst the animals in the forest.
Fucking
Watching
Disney
Disney
princess
walk.
shit over there. Fallon is very dexterous, but she is so stiff trying to dance. Like she's
Upon seeing some of the stiffness from Fallon, Cora will suggest, you know how like sometimes where little kids want to be like hoisted upwards by the arms to get like do a jump pretty high, and two adults on one side you pull them up. Do like that. Where like they're all, so that you're kind of pull up at the same time, the girl jumps a little bit higher, and it's something where they can interact where Fallon doesn't feel like she has to like dance yet.
It's just playing
Yeah,
kid.
Fallon will do
Helping
that.
the girl dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works. Lifting things, Fallon can do that.
Cool. Well, she's having a blast.
Although I do think a proper dance might be nice later, if you don't mind, Fallon. I've never danced with anyone outside of... No, and no one.
I've never danced with anyone either.
Well, then it would be a proper start for both of us, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I guess it would be.
Even ground. I assure you, you would probably move better than me by the end of it.
I don't know about that.
If you can keep a grip on your sword, you can keep a grip on my hand.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable and awkward silence.
Trying to warm Fallon up to the idea of at some point. And when Shabakka
No,
is
it's working.
dancing, okay,
She's not saying no.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Cora is completely aware of the power she holds, and she's just just not using it completely yet.
Awesome.
She does pay attention to where Shabakka is, and it's very clear that she's not moving away from him. At the very least, body language wise, she's aware he's there. She's not avoiding him.
Baby steps. That's
Yeah.
good.
She's not avoiding him by any means. And if, in fact, even if he comes up and starts to involve himself more with the dance, Cora would not mind. She won't say anything. She won't do anything. And there's some level of it that she just is willing to let things go aside until she's ready to say what she wants to say.
Alan does still kind of keep herself between them as much as she can.
Mm-hmm.
With the little girl swinging in between.
Right?
So let me get this straight. We've got Cora hiding behind Fallon, hiding behind a 10-year-old. Got it. Okay.
Alan's hiding behind a 10-year-old.
Child shield. There you go.
Pretty solid.
First of all,
Yep.
the 10-year-old is between Cora and Fallon, so
Fair. Yes. Yeah.
Make a wish.
It's the
Roll.
second
It was
wall.
funny though.
The
Yeah.
second wall.
Cora is hiding behind a 10-year-old hiding behind Fallon.
I am not hiding. You're putting the 10-year-old as a wall in between. You're like, oh,
Okay.
swing this way, swing that way.
So now the 10-year-old, she moves on. She's had a great time, but she wants to go hang out with the little kids again.
Oh yeah.
So what happens with the dance?
So that giggle. I like.
So, what is the general air of these sorts of dances are more something a little bit more upbeat, right? Like they're just kind of like hopping around in different places. But what are the adults doing? Like, is there
Yeah, I
anything
mean,
that Cora can model off of?
yeah. So it's like an East Coast folk dance type thing.
The fuck does
So
that
somebody's
mean?
got like a stringed instrument, like a fiddle, that they're playing. People are dancing in what you consider like a jig a lot of times, but then people take each other's hands and do more couples dances as well. I mean, there's a lot going on. You can pretty much take it any way you want. Like there's not one way to do it. People just make it their own when it's their turn to be in the spotlight, when they're the ones that are up in front of everyone. They do the way they
When
want, and everyone kind of applauds and cheers and
Oh no.
goes in whatever direction that they kind of want to head in.
So Cora
when
definitely does not want to do anything that much in the limelight. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
when the 10-year-old leaves, Fallon is gonna hold her hand out to Cora.
Cora, without hesitation, is going to take it.
See
See where Fallon's going with this.
Wait.
What's Shabakka doing right now?
Staring.
just kind of grooving.
Right?
He's just bopping.
He's dancing like
Nobody's watching.
geez, what the hell is it?
It's like Michael
Yeah.
Jackson. He's doing like the moonwalk.
I think I promised you a dance.
You did? Did you have something in mind?
A waltz.
I don't think any of them even know what this is.
Neither of
It's
them know what a
mostly-
fucking waltz is.
Queer
Yeah.
dance.
The
Here we
music is
go.
mostly upbeat. The
Okay.
music is mostly pretty high tempo stuff.
Guys, we've run into my biggest weakness. I have no fucking idea how to dance.
Seeing a little bit potentially of Fallon's hesitation, Cora will kind of indicate with her head towards the more like jig-ish dances and kind of go, I don't think I have the dexterity for something like that.
You sea shanties?
Instead,
Mhm.
and she reaches for Fallon's other hand, so now she wants both of them.
Yeah, Fallon will let her
Fine.
take it.
I don't know if I'm misreading this, but this means a lot to me, and your protection of and your non-hesitation to care for me and all of this. It means a lot. And just like this. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And Cora is going to lean in with her forehead on. I think Fallon's much taller than Cora. I think so.
Fallon's like 5'11". She's tall.
And it's going to be more of a hug, a really extended hug than it is a dance. If I'm going to be completely honest.
A hug with a bit of swaying back and forth.
Yeah. Just like sort of just being in that moment of Cora doesn't know what she's supposed to do. She's seen what the other adults are doing, and she doesn't think she can replicate it without embarrassing herself.
Yeah.
If she was given some proper training or something, or like taught, then maybe. But
proper training is the funniest way you
training!
could put that.
I need to learn. But yes, for the moment, something more acknowledgement of that is what Cora's going for.
Yeah, Fallon will keep one hand in Cora's, and then she'll put her other hand like kind of near her like waist area, to, like kind of like watching how other people are dancing a little bit, and kind of sway.
And
right?
as it ends or however it goes, Cora is just gonna whisper softly, "Thank you."
Anytime.
I'm gonna have a
Cool.
gay mental breakdown over here.
Stuff happens.
You guys can dance as many songs as you want. As the evening wears on, the adults are kind of wearing out. You can feel the music kind of like slowing down. There's more sitting, more talking around the fire, and less music for a while.
Kitchen party happens.
Yeah, the kids have jumped as much as they're capable of jumping, and then some of the younger ones have regrouped with their parents and are passing out in their laps. And people are starting to kind of wind down. There's like a couple people left up to tend the fire and make sure that it goes out safely, but by and large the party winds down. And yeah,
Opportunity to basically, like, I don't know, pull out like a simple gaming set, not necessarily to gamble, but to provoke conversation. Just low conversation with people as the evening winds down.
The last hour or so, people are more than willing to engage with a game like that. And there's high points and low points, and cheers as big victories happen around the gaming table. And but eventually the people wind down and start to trail off for bed. And then they say, "You're more than welcome to stay here. Of course, we have we've had the kids set up the room you guys stayed in last time you were here, and please stay, and you're always welcome back here. And every time you come, we'll light the fire and we'll bring out the music, and the party will go late into the night as we have tonight."
Excellent.
And thank you once again. You don't come from this land, and maybe that's why you were so helpful. But you have returned the gemstones we had. You've done us a great favor. Wine will flow again in a few months' time, and we've.
Well, your smiles restored my faith in goodwill and humanity. This is good. We'll
Thank
do
you,
this
sir.
again.
I'm just so glad that you could help us out.
As each family member sort of is leaving and stuff, Shabakka has actually been getting into it a bit since Cora and Fallon jumped in, and he gives each family member a hug before they leave to go to bed for the night, and if they're willing,
they're up for that,
and he starts to feel like maybe he didn't need the family he had, but he's happy with whatever family he can get.
Sounds good. Yeah, these people definitely have a soft spot in their hearts for all of you. And
I'm just imagining Shabakka dancing with like one kid hanging off each arm.
Right?
Yeah.
The kids like dancing with Shabakka for sure because he's furry. Yep.
Yeah, only one kid. Hell, he probably have 3 or 4 on each arm.
He's not strong enough for 3 or 4.
Yeah, he's not that strong.
Yep. And with that, we'll call it here tonight. You guys can wake up at the Wizard of Wines next session, and we'll take it from there.
So I guess we're going
Very
to
cool.
the mountain, the big mountain.
Cool.
Yes, I think
That I
was
believe
neat.
the next plan. Yeah, through Valaki to the Mount Baratok.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
for the hope of Shabakka, the next morning Cora is willing to talk.
Okay.
There you go.
Awesome.
So you can prepare for that if you want.
Okay.
Do your homework, man.
Ready.
Yeah.
Do your homework.
You will be spoken to.
Not homework.
Oh, Mom, not again.
Cool. And we'll call it there. And yeah, thanks everybody. And
Thank you.
have yourself a good week.
Yeah.
What is going on over there?
Having a gay heart attack over yourself.
What's going on? Gay things. That's what's going on.
I love it.
Nice.
It was interesting, like listening to the party vibe, and in the background, I actually had Otavo Yo playing, as is like had soft music in the background, and it actually fit the whole vibe pretty well. It was neat.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Cute.
What was it that you said?
So Otavo Yo, if you look on the Strahd channel,
Oh, okay.
I
put a
played
link
it,
to
and
the.
it was super loud and it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I just went, "Ugh."
Solid.
It's basically like a traditional instrumentation Russian band,
Oh, okay.
and it's actually really neat.
I'll check it out.
I just click on it
Yeah.
and it's actually
Maybe I'll mix it into the video.
Доехали по полю бояры, ой-ли, ой-ля-ли, ой-ля-ли. Доехали по полю бояры.